Today we're going to do a collaborative kind of mural sort of thing. I gave you each two 4" by 4" canvases, and you have a heart template. And so on each of your canvases, you're going to paint a heart. And as you can see in my example, do little dots and patterns and different colors and that kind of thing. And then they will be hung up. I'll provide a picture of how they can be hung up. Won't be the same project as what we're doing, but it'll give you a sense of what you can do with it. And so we're going to be using acrylic paints, whatever acrylic paint you have left over, because these don't need to be any particular color. Just, you know, use whatever you are inspired to use. So for supplies, you need a pencil and eraser, variety of sizes of brushes, paper plate, acrylic paints. At some point I used a little bit of oil pastels so that you could use those, and then a small bowl with water in it and your trusty paper towel. The first step is going to be painting the background, and I'm going to use a light blue as our base coat. Make sure that you just get your brush a little damp. Now you're going to be doing two of these little canvases. I'm just going to be doing one. So you can make them both the same background color if you want, or if you prefer, you can use a different color. Your two canvases do not have to look the same. You can use the same colors but have different designs on your heart. You can use different colors. It really is up to you. So we just want to do the edges so that that looks nice when they're hanging on the wall. And that can be a little tricky. Do as much as you can, and then we'll touch it up after the background is dry. Because you can have little marks where your hands are. Now, you might need to do a second color. I'm not going to, because I just want this to dry, and then I'm going to be adding some other colors on top of this. I just needed something to get me started here. So I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll be ready to start on the heart. All right, my base coat is dry, and so now I'm going to start working on the heart. And I provided a template for you, but if you don't have a template, you may just sketch your heart. And then you can start making your design. I'm going to do a heart within a heart, and then kind of a spiral, but I'm just kind of seeing what that looks like, because I will do that after I get the base coat of the heart done. So I just wanted to make sure that that looks okay. And then you can choose your colors, and I'm going to use a pink color and a smaller brush, if I can find one. Do the inside of the heart. Again, your two canvases do not need to be the same. Try to not have ridges with your painting. We can keep them simple, or we can make them more complicated. It really is up to you. I'm going to do the outer band in purple. Using a fairly small brush again for the detail work. Again, it's your call if you want to do 2 layers of paint. Make sure you watch where your brush is going. You'll have a steadier hand, and the paint will end up where you want it to be. I'm going to add a little gold on the inside. It's pretty transparent. And just to give it a little different look. Need to make sure that your underneath layer of paint is dry, or else you'll pull it off of the canvas. And there was a little spot right there that wasn't dry that I didn't see. So I'm going to have to let that dry and then cover it up again. Now, you can do other things like use the end of your paintbrush to make dots. Now the dots will stay wet for a longer period of time because the paint is thick. Okay, so I'm going to, while I'm waiting for those to, I'm going to get out my oil pastels just to make it, you know, a little unusual. And I'm going to do some lines around my heart. Just be careful not to get into the dots while they're drying. So you don't have to just stick with your paint. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to take a round paintbrush, and I'm going to add just a little bit of white around it to kind of lighten it up a little bit, add some contrast. So in between my lime green oil pastels, I'm putting some brush strokes. Quick, sort of like staccato brush strokes. Like that. Make sure that it's okay. So I'm going to make my spiral here. And I'm going to make like little comma things here. All right. So I'm going to continue on with my purple for my spiral. And then I'm going to put my blue dots. I'm going to make them a little smaller, but I'm going to carry that theme along the spiral. And I'm going to go back over this area. Kind of get rid of the blue that's sticking out. And let some of the gold show through. Not a lot. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white to my pink to do some highlights. And then you can go back with a little bit of pink. Whoops. Not sure how I got blue in there. That was a mistake. Must have had some hiding in my brush. Well, we know what we do there. Cover it up, let it dry. right, so here we just let this dry, and then we're going to do, I only have one canvas left, so, but I sent 2 over to you all. So we're going to have you do your second heart. Does not have to match your first. In fact, it would be better if it didn't. I'm going to touch this up, line up a little bit. So there we go. Have fun with it.